So Protectual Stop, Mr. Chair, if I may. So Protectual Stop is where a vehicle encounter or pedestrian encounter occurs for one facial reason, but that facial reason is not uh, followed up on by the police officer with any alacrity whatsoever. Instead, it leads to something else. So, a classic example that you see in the law is a vehicle stop for a bad registration. They don't have registration tags. Officer approaches the person, walks up to the car, says, "Mr. Smith, you don't have registration on your car." He says, "No, I don't." The officer says, "Give me a license and registration." Takes it back, pulls it up, goes back. And instead of what should be a fairly speedy ticket for some members of our community, what happens instead is lengthy questioning about what you have in the car, what's going on in the car, where are you going, who are you going with, where are you traveling from. And a lot of times that leads to a search of that vehicle. This is very similar to the data I presented at one of our first meetings. If you remember, I showed you police data that demonstrated what I argued were pretextual stops, where you had vehicles being searched without any real reason whatsoever. And you saw that it didn't really have a hit rate that discovered criminality that justified how often it occurred. And so the argument was they're doing these fishing expeditions of people in the community, and it's making a certain population in the community feel less safe and not a part of the community. So in my opinion, it's very valuable if we find out that our chief law enforcement of the county believes that exists at all. The courts agree that exists. So I'd like to know his opinions.